Lake Sidney Lanier in northern Georgia is more than just a picturesque spot. It's known as one of the deadliest lakes in the US. Despite safety assurances from local officials, its deep, dark waters hold a history of numerous, often mysterious deaths. This has fueled rumors of a curse. Uncover 10 troubling facts about Lake Lanier and see why it's approached with caution. Is it simply a series of unfortunate events? Or is there something eerie behind these legends? 10. Lake Lanier, now a popular destination in Georgia, is built on a land with a tragic and dark history. Long before it was a lake, this area was part of the Cherokee Nation. In the 1830s, the US government forced the Cherokee people out in a painful event known as the Trail of Tears, recognized as a terrible human rights abuse. But the sadness didn't end there. Around 80 years later, in 1912, Forsyth County, which includes the future site of Lake Lanier, witnessed another horrific event. After the murder of a young white woman named May Crow, a white mob unjustly killed a black man named Robert Big Rob Edwards, who was the suspect. The violence escalated, and the mob attacked all black residents, forcing them to leave their homes and land within 2 months. They used a legal process called adverse possession to claim the land. These two terrible events in history, the expulsion of the Cherokee and the forced exodus of the black community, are believed to have left a lasting mark on the land. Today, many think that the spirits of those who suffered still haunt Lake Lanier, contributing to its eerie reputation and the numerous mysterious incidents that have occurred there. 9. In 1956, Forsyth County experienced its third expulsion when the United States Army Corps of Engineers decided to construct a lake near Atlanta, Georgia. The goal was to provide hydroelectric power, water, and flood protection to the surrounding counties. The locals, who had owned the farmland for generations, faced a difficult decision as the government offered money in exchange for their property. This move triggered a wave of emotions, including anger, resentment, fear, anxiety, bewilderment, and apprehension among the residents. Approximately 700 families eventually sold 56,000 acres to facilitate the construction of a dam on the Chattahoochee River, forming the lake. As the waters rose, covering everything they had abandoned, the impact on the displaced families was profound. Despite the government's assurance that they were receiving the full value of their land and buildings, some families later regretted their decision, realizing they couldn't sustain themselves with the compensation provided. The forced relocation left a lasting mark on the community, highlighting the complex dynamics between progress, government initiatives, and the personal sacrifices made by individuals who called the land home for generations. 8. When Lake Lanier was created, the Army Corps of Engineers diligently cleared the area, relocating structures, and even identified and moved marked graves in the town of Oscarville. However, the community's cemetery presented a unique challenge. While the Corps made efforts to locate unmarked burials, the limited capabilities of the time made it probable that some unmarked graves were left behind. Cesar Yabor, a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers spokesman, acknowledged the possibility of unanticipated finds of human remains dating back to the antebellum, Civil War, or even Native American periods. Over time, gradual flooding submerged these graves, forming the bed of the now largest lake in Georgia. Today, Lake Lanier serves as a crucial source of drinking water for over 5 million people, carrying beneath its waters the history and remnants of a submerged town, including the silent echoes of unmarked graves from times long past. 7. Lake Lanier, formed in Georgia, has witnessed 500 deaths since its inception, with 200 occurring between 1994 and 2022. Despite attracting 11 million annual visitors, the lake's death toll remains unusually high. In contrast, Lake Allatoona, just 40 miles west with a similar visitor count, has only a third of the fatalities. The unpredictability of annual fatalities is striking: 6 in 2022, 4 in 2021, and 7 in 2020. However, the most alarming statistic recounts the deadliest day in Lake Lanier's history, when, on Christmas Day in 1964, a tragic accident claimed the lives of 7 members from 2 Gainesville families. Their station wagon crashed into the lake after clipping a guardrail and hitting a power pole. Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Brown, along with 3 of their children, and Mr. and Mrs. Billy Rogers, with 2 of their children, lost their lives. The families had been en route to an orchard for a Christmas dinner apple-picking outing. The haunting incident underscores the lake's tragic history, leaving questions about the factors contributing to its disproportionately high mortality rate. 6. In 1958, the chilling tale of the Lady of the Lake took root when Delia Mae Parker Young and Susie Roberts, after leaving a local dance, made a fateful decision to skip out on gas payment. Their impulsive choice led to tragedy as their car skidded off a bridge over Lake Lanier, plunging into the cold, dark waters. For over 3 decades, their submerged car remained undiscovered until officials finally located it. Both women lost their lives in the accident, giving rise to a haunting legend. The Lady of the Lake, often depicted as a spectral figure in a blue dress resembling Susie's attire that ill-fated night, has become a sinister presence near the bridge. Legend has it that this malevolent figure, missing her hands, attempts to lure unsuspecting souls to share her watery fate. Anyone venturing too close to the water risks being seized by her handless arms and dragged beneath the lake's surface. The eerie tale of the Lady of the Lake persists as a chilling reminder of the tragic night that birthed a ghostly legend around Lake Lanier. 5. In July 2012, tragedy struck when Kyle Glover, the 11-year-old son of fashion designer Tamika Foster and ex-wife of R&B star Usher, was involved in a personal watercraft accident on Lake Lanier. While sitting on an inner tube, Kyle was struck by the watercraft, leading to his untimely death. 11 years after this devastating incident, Tamika Foster has taken a proactive stance, garnering over 2,500 signatures for a petition urging officials to drain, clean, and restore Lake Lanier. The petition emphasizes the need for essential safety enhancements and the removal of hazardous debris and obstructions from the lake. Foster sees this initiative not only as a necessary step, but also as an opportunity to honor the memory of those lost and prevent future tragedies. Through her Change.org petition and Instagram promotion, Foster is fighting for change and advocating for a safer Lake Lanier to spare other families from the heartbreak she endured. 4. In a mysterious and tragic event, Kelly Nash vanished on January 5, 2015, leaving behind perplexing questions that haunt the shores of Lake Lanier. His girlfriend, Jessica Sexton, recounted that Nash, feeling unwell, woke up at 4 a.m. in their Buford, Georgia home. When she awoke a few hours later, Nash was gone, leaving his truck, wallet, and cell phone. The only absence was a 9mm handgun. Despite exhaustive efforts by family, friends, and authorities, the only clue was a surveillance video from the night before his disappearance at a local gas station. Nash was found in Lake Lanier on February 8, 2015, wearing the same attire as in the video. Despite a gunshot wound on his body, his death was ruled a drowning. The search for answers into Nash's mysterious disappearance and tragic end reveals a complex story that continues to baffle, leaving loved ones grappling with the uncertainty surrounding his untimely demise. 3. Boating on Lake Lanier, particularly during the summer, poses significant dangers, as a series of tragic incidents underscore. One harrowing night on June 17, 2012, a fishing boat collided head-on with a pontoon boat, resulting in the heartbreaking loss of 2 boys. While 9-year-old Jacob Prince's body was quickly recovered, the search for 13-year-old Griffin Prince proved challenging due to the lake's deep waters and submerged timber. The collision left Jacob's mother and 2 other children injured. The fisherman responsible, Paul Bennett, faced charges including boating under the influence and reckless conduct. 2. Beyond collisions, Lake Lanier presents an unexpected threat with a concerning number of unexplained boat fires and explosions. On Mother's Day in 2021, the Coleman family faced a terrifying incident when their boat, unable to start after refueling, suddenly exploded. Steve Coleman, expressing shock as they had never encountered issues before, recounted the engine's abrupt ignition. The explosion left his teen son, Gunnar, and daughter, Taylor, with severe burns, necessitating an airlift to the hospital. Taylor underwent multiple surgeries during her prolonged recovery. 1. Lake Lanier faces the grim threat of electrocutions, as tragically exemplified on July 29, 2023, when 24-year-old Thomas Milner was electrocuted after leaping into the lake from his family's dock. Efforts to rescue him proved challenging, with a family friend attempting assistance using a ladder, only to experience an electric shock. Even a neighbor who jumped into the water felt the same shocking sensation. Swift action followed as they turned off the power box, returning to successfully retrieve Milner. While he initially survived, Thomas succumbed to his injuries the following day. Electric shock drowning, as explained by the Electrical Shock Drowning Prevention Association, occurs when electrical currents leak into the water, potentially paralyzing swimmers. Such currents often originate from dock wiring, marinas, or connected boats, posing a silent and deadly danger to those enjoying the waters of Lake Lanier. Understanding and addressing this threat is crucial to preventing further tragedies on the lake. Thanks for tuning in to our Top 10 Countdown. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell.